Hey everybody, welcome to Zarla Academy. Today I'm going to show you how to create your own house cleaning website in about 5 to 10 minutes. And it doesn't take any kind of coding. It doesn't take any kind of design skills. You don't have to use a legacy website builder like WordPress or any of those older technologies. It's going to take a lot of time. You can actually do it instantly using Zarla, which has AI built in, and it's going to give you a lot of customization that you can do from your phone if you want. So if you have a small business and you need a website, this is the simplest way to do it. All right, let's get started. Start by going to zarla.com and entering your business name. So my business name today is going to be Coastal Cleaners, and this is going to be my house cleaning business that I'm creating right now. I'm going to choose my industry, which is house cleaning. And then I'm going to describe it really quickly just to give Zarla some idea of what to put in the website. Now, there are a bunch of different ways to describe your business. You might have a good elevator pitch right off the bat, but if you don't know, you can always go to ChatGPT and type in something like, with that, ChatGPT will just describe it right here. It includes some good customization with the types of cities that we're serving. And I can just copy and paste this here into Zarla to make sure I have a great description. Now I did cut it off a little bit. Let's just get rid of this. That is fine. All right, so I'm going to have it create my website. And at this point, Zarla is doing all of this on its own. It's using my description. It's using my industry. I'm always curious about what it's going to look like. All right, here we are. I am going to add a phone number, and I would recommend you guys do this too. As it says, about 44% of visitors like to use a phone number to call a business rather than using a contact form on the website. Some of them also prefer to text, so we're just going to phone number there. You can go live instantly. I'm going to keep editing, and I'm going to show you what I do to make sure this website is top-notch and gets good rankings in Google. Okay. You see they've set up a website for me already. It has the name at the top. It has some nav menu items here like About Us, Services. And what's really cool about Zarla is it creates multiple pages. It's not just a one-page website. So under my services, I actually have entire pages dedicated to residential cleaning, dedicated to deep cleaning, move-in, move-out cleaning. So this is something that already exists instantly when you create your Zarla website. Let's keep going down. You can see there's testimonials here that you can add and a contact us form. And so if you go back to the top, I just want to say right now, like, this is a perfectly functional website. This website might be everything you need to just launch right now and take away all that sort of hesitation and uncertainty when you launch your website. If so, just go for it. Click on Go Live, and you'll be able to get a discount code right now and continue with your website. But if you already have a logo, if you already have some photos and things like that, then I would definitely recommend adding them to your website just to customize it a little bit more. And that's what I'm going to do throughout this entire video, is just to show you how to easily customize your website. So let's start with the logo up here. Zarla gives you a logo. It's generated for you and a color scheme as well. But I have one already in mind for Coastal Cleaners. So I'm going to click on header down here, and I'm going to choose logo. And what I've got here is I can upload a logo file from my Coastal Cleaners folder on my website. It's going to already crop it just like I want it to look like. And that looks a lot more like my brand already. Some of the other things I can do is change this top menu area. So this centered kind of menu is nice. It's simple, but sometimes I think that it's a little bit maybe small business oriented, and I want to show that I'm kind of a bigger business. So I'm going to go to layout here, and you can see all these different options. You can have it on the left side with the menu links on the right. You can choose to have buttons. There are a ton of different options here, and I think that I will just do something like that. That looks pretty good to me. And also, now that I'm looking at this and the colors and everything, let's go back to my colors over here. And I'm going to choose a different color scheme, something that fits my Coastal Cleaners logo a little bit better. You can see it on the buttons here, and you'll be able to see it in other places. Oh, that makes a blue menu up there at the top. Let's keep looking here. Let's try this. That looks pretty good. Are there any others? Oh, that one looks like a good fit. Okay, so let's go with Denim Sapphire for this, and that just matches my logo. And then I'm going to go back and also click on the fonts because I really want my fonts to match my logo as well. And these fonts look okay. Mine are a little bit more modern. You can see that my C is a little more rounded than these. These are more vertical and stretched. So what I want to do here is find a font that feels a little bit more, I guess geometric is the word, like Poppins. Poppins is pretty good. That one looks pretty nice, actually. I'll keep looking around. Maybe something like Munito, maybe? That's pretty nice also. It's fairly close. It's still a little bit oval on the O. This one might be pretty close. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that one. It has a very geometric, kind of a modern, but also very friendly vibe to it. So I'm going to go with that. And let's see. The other thing I want to do here before I get too far is I want to customize my hero section right at the top. Sometimes you can customize it in a way that, again, makes you look more professional. So I'm going to find a way to do that here. Clicking on layout first. And you can see there's a lot of different layout options. But I want one that's going to feel like a good sized business. So let's try this one. I don't mind that. It's a little blah. Let me see if I can add some of my own images. I'm going to just go to image here. I'm going to upload. And let's see how it looks when I add one of my own. I really like some of these bathroom images. They look really high end and they fit my sort of coastal vibe. And in a minute, I will show you how to get images like this if you don't already have them. So that's nice, but it does make this logo feel a little bit less professional over the top. I could change my logo, but instead, let's try changing the layout. Let's go to one of these here. Let's try this and see how that looks. That's not bad. I would probably want to minimize the text over here because it's a pretty big section right off the bat. I kind of like that too, how there's sort of a dynamic to it where your logo's over here and your text is over here. What else do we have? Frame would be a smaller image. Okay. There's also circle. Well, that actually looks really good right there. So I like this sort of headline section, and I want to now change it so that it has a more concise and maybe more SEO optimized title as well. And the way I am going to do that, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask it to give me some information that I can use for my website. And this is actually a really easy way to make sure your website is optimized for SEO. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, and I'll show you what I do here. I'm going to say, give me a page headline and one paragraph. Now there's a really good marketer named David Ogilvy, and I want ChatGPT to kind of write like him. So I'm going to say, write it in the style of Ogilvy and make sure it's optimized for SEO. I think it'll know to add my location as well. So let's try it. Yeah, it did. Now it's a pretty long paragraph. I really want this shorter, but I like this. So I'm going to take this over right away. I'm going to go to my headline and just paste it. This is the easiest way to update any website I've ever found. So we're going to put this somewhere else, and I'm going to make ChatGPT give me a really short call to action right here. Love it. So they're really kind of hitting this trust metric here and saying we're really trusted, and we're going to go down the website and we're going to prove that with images. We're going to prove that by like overcoming some objections, and we're going to make this a really like trusted looking website. So let's go to text and change that. Nice. Just a strong call to action at the very start. All right, let's keep going down the page and see what else we might want to change. So this about section is great. I want to use what I just got from ChatGPT here. So I'm going to click on that section to edit. You can just click the overall section and then change the text. I'm also going to add a break into this paragraph right here because I want to make sure that it's easy to read. Okay, and I don't need to say about coastal cleaners. I need to just say about us, I think. Okay. This is great that we have these services here. There are different ways to present your services. So let's look at the layouts really quick. I want bigger images. I want it to feel more luxury. So I do like these taller ones. And I'm going to get rid of this trustworthy one. It doesn't really fit here. So yeah, let's click on this, and we're going to get rid of this one just by choosing. Let's see what I'm doing here. I'm going down here and I'm clicking on the trustworthy one, and then I'm clicking remove. Okay, now there's just 4. I would like those to be optimized a little bit more. So I wonder if I can do this really easily. I'm just going to copy this and say, optimize this text in the style of Ogilvy and C. Okay, cool. Let's see what it gives me for this. I don't know how much that improved it, but I like that it's consistent with my other style of writing on the page. So I am going to copy and paste those over. I might speed this part up so you don't have to watch it. All right, so I really like how those look. And I do want to make one more change to this section. Well, 2 more actually. I've got this title here, which I think could be improved. So I'm going to ask GPT to change it. I like that. I like what it did right here at the end. And it says we clean like it's our own home, which is nice. And that looks really good to me. But I do want to change one more thing, which is the images. So when I go here and click on residential cleaning, I can change the image just like we did for the hero. And we're going to upload an image. I'm going to grab one here. This is residential, so let's do like a living room. I like that. And then we're going to do the same for deep cleaning. And I will be showing you how to get images like this because I didn't take these photos. These were created by a service called Ideogram. I will show you that in just a minute. But for now, know that I've created these images using Ideogram, using an AI image generator, and I've just saved them to my folder. Okay. I like how these look a little better. And before I get too far, I do want to show you how to do that in Ideogram. So go to ideogram.ai and you can type in exactly what you want for your images. But because it takes a little bit of work to kind of figure out what to say, I again start with ChatGPT. So I might go over to ChatGPT and say something like, give me an ideogram prompt. Actually, give me 50. Absolutely perfectly clean rooms. Yeah, let's try that. So then it gives me a bunch. Take one of these, go to Ideogram, paste it here. Let's do landscape for now. Let's do 4 of them because you want to be able to see a variety of results and then choose the one that best suits your brand. And then keep MP on auto, keep it on realistic, and click generate. So this is going to give you 4 images. It takes a few minutes depending on if you use the priority queue or the slow queue. So that's just something to think about. You could pay for an Ideogram account if you want and just use it to generate images for a while. So these are some interesting images. These are very like luxurious looking. I really like this one. And again, none of these are real photos, but they look great. And so let's download this, and then it's saved to your desktop, and you can use it in your website. So that's what I've been doing for all of these, and I use very similar prompts to these to get my images that I wanted. Okay, so let's go back here. You now know how to get images. And let's keep going down the page a little bit. This is a nice little photo here, but I can also replace it by clicking on it again and uploading an image maybe that matches my aesthetic a little better, which is more like sunlit. And this has a little bit more just space to it. You can see the whole room. This is kind of a why choose us section, which is great for overcoming objections in your website. So you know that people might worry about cost. They might worry about, are you professional? They might worry about your materials that you're using. All of those are reasonable things to be worried about. So this gives me a way to overcome those objections. Now, what I really want to do though, is I want to get ChatGPT's take on it using that SEO optimized Ogilvy kind of wording. So I'm going to go over to ChatGPT and say, give me a longer section that overcomes. So they came up with trust, cost, quality, and consistency. I think that's great. So this is a great sentence right here. Why Coastal Cleaners is the cleaning service you can actually count on. Not only does that optimize, again, you've got cleaning service again in here and Coastal Cleaners, your name. I really like this. And I don't think it's actually going to work in this just regular text section. I want to have a different kind of section here. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to add a new one down here. And I think I'd like to add, I'm going to use the services layout right now. It's not going to be services, but it is going to be that layout because it's really customizable. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So it's creating this new section down here. I'm going to click on it to go to it. It's got all these things. I'm going to get rid of those. But the layout that I want is maybe this. That looks pretty good. These are pretty good too. Let me check here. All of these would work. I especially like this one if, yeah, because I kind of like how it lines up into two columns, gives me a little more variety. So we're going to stick with that one. There's also one with images if you wanted, but I think, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this. And then I'm going to go back one. I'm going to move it up. And this is going to go right where I want it to go. Below, actually, it's going to go below this nice image here. Okay. So let's start copying over. I want it to be a little more personal. So sometimes when I'm editing text, again, totally your preference, but I just make it more direct or more simple. So I just said, we get it. Every Coastal Cleaners professional is through. Let's change that. I get why they're saying professional, but I'm going to say team member is thoroughly vetted, background checked, and trained to treat your home like their own, comma. And let's save that. Your trust is our top priority. I love that. Okay, let's keep going and do the rest of these. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of this trustworthy one again that it's wanting to include. Okay, that's looking really good, and I love that this section, we're not going to call it services. In fact, I'll show you how to change that right now. Here's where we're going to change that. If you ever need to change one of these links, you're going to click on this header section and go to menu links. And you're going to be able to change it to whatever wording you want. Okay, home, about us, our services, why choose us, testimonials and content. We're almost done, and I've spent maybe 15 minutes on this. Let's go down here to the testimonials. I like how this looks, but maybe the headlines can be the headline can be a little bit shorter. And of course, if you have your own testimonials, you're going to want to put them in here. If you're just starting a cleaning business, I completely recommend going to friends and family first and just telling them, hey, I'm getting this off the ground. Can I clean your house or your room for half price? They'd be stupid to not take you up on that. And then, of course, you can get a great review from them after you've done that. That's one of the best ways to just start getting reviews when you're a new business. So that's what I'd recommend doing until you have some really killer reviews. And if this person isn't great at writing, that's okay. You can write it for them. You can literally go into ChatGPT and say, write a review for me from my friend Kate, for example. Make this one about price. So this is what you could say to your friend Kate. You could say, hey, Kate, does this sound good to you? I honestly can't believe how affordable Coastal Cleaners is for the level of service they provide. You can read it yourself. But this is a great review, and Kate doesn't have to write it. You don't have to write it, really. Just show it to Kate and be like, hey, are you okay with me putting this up by your name? Did you like the work I did? And then say, and hey, be completely honest. If anything was wrong, let me know and I'll fix it. And that gives you feedback too as you're just starting out. So this is the strategy I would use if you need to get reviews and you don't have any because you're new. Everyone will be happier. They don't have to write the review and you get something that sounds really great. So I would definitely do this. And then you can just paste those in. So I will say that the layout, you can change the layout. Some of these are just a little more, a little more fun. And then, of course, going back to Kate, who you've cleaned for, get a picture of her. Like every time you clean for friends and family, get a photo, get photos of their rooms. You can add their faces here and actually upload an image. Just making a headshot out of it. And so this kind of thing will also make your website feel very trustworthy and professional. And I'm just going to add some more of these so you can see how it will look. This image. Okay. That's great. I think that's a good start. And if you can, add more of those. Lastly, we have this kind of contact form here. I want to improve on this a little bit. So I am going to just do one more thing. And quickly, and then over here, all right, that looks good. There are two more sections that I want to add. One is locations. So I want to make sure people can come to this website and understand immediately that I serve all these different locations. This is going to help me optimize for SEO as well. So let's go down to here to my edit menu and click on add. And I am going to add another services section. This services section is going to actually be locations, which is totally fine. Again, it's a very, very customizable section. You can use it for services. You can use it for, you can put your teammates in there or your team members. But I'm just going to do something pretty simple with this and change it to locations. And I want to ask ChatGPT, you might know this already for your business, but give me 12 locations in the Los Angeles. So these are all the names that I want to target. So I'm just going to quickly put these into that section, starting with Los Angeles, of course. And then doing the rest of them as well. Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach. Okay. I ran out of them, so I'm going to add more. I want to draw your attention here. This is really interesting. Zarla actually lets you create a new page for every one of these specific items. So if you wanted to, you could add a page for Malibu cleaning service directly from this little button. I think it's something to keep in mind for your own websites. You can't just have a single page and think you're going to get a lot of traffic. You really need your homepage, which kind of goes over what you offer in general. And then you need supplementary pages, extra pages that are going to have specific keywords that they're all targeting. So you saw that earlier in this website with my services. I'm targeting 4 specific services, but this gives you the opportunity to also target specific places plus services. I mean, you can have as many pages as you want with your Zarla website, and each page can be an SEO optimized page trying to get a certain type of traffic to it. All right, let's see a few more. Culver City, Pacific Palisades. I'll just add those 2 and be done, because you get the idea. Okay, so now I've got my locations here, and I do want to change the name of that up here on the menu. If you recall, last time we did that, we went up to the header, and then we can change service area maybe, something like that. Now, you can be done with your website at any time, but for me, I just wanted to kind of pack it full of things you might want as a small business owner, and especially if you're trying to optimize for local SEO. So the one other thing that I'll show you before finishing up is that you can add new sections very easily, and you have a lot of options for that. So when you click on add, you'll get the option to add a new hero section or an about section or another section of reviews. Services we've used several times. You can add a pricing section. You can add a location section. That one has like a map in it and your address. I would recommend that one if you have a physical location. Like if you're a yoga studio or something, you'd have a local address. Contact us sections, you've seen those. And of course, you can add an image or an image gallery at any time. Now, what I want to do here is show you just one more way that you can add images and really kind of sell yourself as a business, okay? So right somewhere in here, I want to emphasize the fact that I'm mobile, all right? And it's probably right here on the About Us, because we are mobile, obviously. We go to your house, we clean, and I think right in here might be a good place. So I'm going to add an image gallery, and that's going to generate down at the bottom of the website. What we're going to do here is add just one image showing my cleaning van and in front of a few houses to kind of get that idea. Here it is. There are no images in it yet, and I am also going to remove this text. And then I'm going to upload this image that I have. You know, you might not have something like this, but if you have like a work van, I think it's a great way to sort of show just another facet of your business, like show professionalism, show your brand. Okay, so I'm going to do this and upload it. And then I'm going to write a headline that just kind of explains again that, you know, we're all over the city. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT. And I just really want, you know, something that says who we are as a business again and reminds people that we go everywhere all throughout LA. And I'm going to move this up. All right, I liked adding that picture there. It shows the brand, and it just reemphasizes the professionalism. And as I'm scrolling through, I'm realizing that maybe this isn't the most informative picture. With my images, I like to really show what we do, and I think maybe that's not quite enough. So before I finish up, I am going to finish by just maybe finding a different image to use for this, something that really says that we clean houses. Yeah, that looks really nice. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please click like and subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot more great tutorials coming out for small businesses and for anyone who needs to create a website.